I get so caught up in the middle, thinking of drowning in those blue eyes.
Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you, getting into my sinking funds and my little savings tracker here. So this is where I keep track of the money I'm spending for my annual and quarterly expenses. Today we're going to go ahead and get into putting what I am deposited in each category and the total deposit I need to put in my money market account where I keep my sinking funds. It's a flexible account I can get into and out of very easily without really any difficulty. It earns a little more interest than a regular savings account. So let's go ahead and get into the numbers. I've already put down all the titles because there's so many of them just to save time, and we'll go through them one by one. And then I've already got the beginning balances. So the beginning balance is actually the ending balance of the previous month. So this was the previous month. This was September. And as you can see, the ending balance here for these numbers are over here. So I've already got that down. We already know what it is and how much it is and all the things. So let's just move on from there and total up how much I need in the savings account to cover all this. Now, because these are annual or quarterly expenses, I basically find out how much I need for 12 months, then divide the number by 12, and that gives me the amount each month I should be putting into the account. So that is where I'm at right now. And we're going to start with Amazon Prime. Now, Amazon Prime has, this month is when the total is being taken out. They do charge tax on my Amazon Prime here in the state I live in. So I'm actually going to fold this over. There we go. And so I need to make sure I have enough to cover the tax as well as the withdrawal. I looked up last year's amount. So what I'm putting in this month actually matches what I paid last year, and it should be what I'm paying this year because the price did not change. Unless the tax changed, the price did not change. Oh, by the way, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm excited to have you here. I love doing budgeting. I do monthly budgets, paycheck to paycheck, weekly check-ins, as well as a couple of sinking funds and savings trackers, setup and closeout, and Mortgage Monday, which will be next Monday. So I'm excited about that. For right now, we are doing $13.36. Oops. Wrote it backwards. Okay. I'm not going to total the ending until the end of the month, and that's when I close all this out. Like I said before, Amazon Prime will be coming out, so this is going to be a total of $150.68, which is what I paid last year, and that should bring it to zero. And then in that makes this September. Then October, I'll start again and do 12 months of putting towards the sinking funds and moving forward from there. Google storage. I just put Google with storage. This is my husband's. We put away $8.33 for that. Apple subscription, I have one. It's to have Excel, Word, PowerPoint, the whole package, the Microsoft 365, I think it is, package. And so in order to have it on my MacBook Air, I get a subscription for that. Let's see, that is $5.83. And as you see the numbers getting larger and hitting the goal amount, the withdrawal will actually always bring that category back to zero, and then I start fresh the next month. So this is a perpetual, continual deposit. This is not something where I can pause and go, okay, I'm just not going to put anything this month, or I'm going to put a little more here and a little more there. I have it divided for the 12 months, so I have something to put every month, and it still covers me for the whole year. And that's just how I feel the safest doing this. It makes sense to me, and I've been doing this, I guess, 5 years now, 6 years, putting away for the annual expenses, because I got tired of that sneaking up on me, and I forgot all about it. So, and then I'm scrambling trying to get money together. So home maintenance here, I am putting $50. I will probably eventually round that up, but not quite yet. This home maintenance we're building up to, I think, $350 to call a plumber to fix a pipe in our basement. So it's not affecting anything right now, but we just can't use our front yard spigot for watering flowers or anything like that out front. Orkin, we have dropped this to 24. I still need to call them because I was having them come out quarterly, and now I'm going to only have them come out twice a year. So I divided it by the 12 for two visits a year. CKY landfill, where actually our landfill actually got bought, or not the landfill, but the company CKY landfill, and so we have a new company, and that name will change. I'm hoping the prices aren't increased. I don't know any other thing going on, but that's $30 a month. We average about $90 a quarter, so we'll see if the pay schedule changes. I'll make the adjustments here once I know more later. They're still in the process of transferring billing and all that stuff. So I just got my first letter about it that, hey, these are the things going on behind the scenes. You'll start seeing things soon. Now I have propane. So we have a propane tank for our fireplace out here in a little bit of rural area that we're in. We're not deep in rural area. We're just right on the edge of the city limits. And so the houses that we had built out in this area, they all have fireplace propanes, or they have stove propanes and things like that for the kitchen. I don't use natural gas for my stove, so that's okay there. But I always do $20 a month, and then in October, November time frame, I call out to our propane company. They come and fill the tank up, and I use this money to pay the bill, whatever the amount is. This year's going to be more than last year, just because we used more this past winter than we did the first winter we were here. So they're going to have to fill up more. Taxes and tags are for our vehicles. These are property taxes for the vehicle and the tag registration. Usually that total happens all at once, so we're doing $20 a month for that. Now I do like rounding up things here if I know it's not going to be too much change to round up to, and I don't have an exact amount that I need. So all these that are rounded up, they're not exact that I need, but they're close. This is pretty much exact. I just didn't make any changes here. Car maintenance, I try to do $50 a month. Back in May, I did some car maintenance that was $200 or $300, and then depleted it and went negative, and now we're back into positive because I keep adding $50, and this will be the first month we're not negative after that. I did oil change and transmission flush. Thing is, I need to take my vehicle in again. I'll talk about that in a minute. I think we figured out something for that. Xander ID, it's identity theft protection. $13 a month is what we're doing. This month it's normally $12. I did $13 because I'm adding an extra $1, and then I'll go back to $12. It's $145 a year, so that's what that is. And it's for me and my husband, and I think my son, one of my sons. The other one aged out of the program. My other son is still young enough to be in the family plan. Norton, that's my son, not my son, my husband's. Norton for his laptop that he uses. He's an Android PC guy. I'm an Apple and Mac girl, so we're the house divided here. But we love each other very much. Let's see. That's $5.33 I put away. And if any of these are ever off, even by a little bit, I have enough room in the sinking funds here that I can actually kind of borrow from some of the others or go negative. That's what I did here. I went negative, and it's like using the money that's in here, but just waiting, like giving myself a little cushion and then waiting for me to get it back into positive numbers. So I could always borrow a little bit in here and then put it back in positive numbers, especially if the price changes or things like that. Tax prep, this is for our tax preparer for next year. Anniversary, I just put this one in, and what do I have for our anniversary? $10. So I'm not putting a whole lot. Usually we kind of wing it for our anniversary, but I thought I should put a little something, enough to go out to dinner maybe, and just for an evening out. And that would give us, over 12 months, that would give us $120. So that's not too bad. Christmas and birthdays, I have $100 here. Cell phone tech, this is if we need to buy a cell phone or replace one, or any technology. I have used it. It's $50 I put away for that. I've used it for like a hard drive, external hard drive for my laptop to back up all my stuff on the hard drive from my laptop and things like that. So that I have. Activities. So an activities fund is just basically a fund that we can use for going to the zoo, the aquariums, things like that. That is $50. Canva, I put away $10 a month for that. It's $120 a year or just under that. And that happens in April, so that'll fill up. Epidemic Sound is the music you hear in the beginning of my videos. And I do enjoy a lot of the music that's on there, so. But I get to use them in my videos. Car fund, there is no extra that we put to this. This was $700 we kind of put aside from money we got a while back. This is meant for the Jeep. This is probably where I'm going to take my vehicle in because there's some things that need to be taken care of. And I need to make an appointment for that. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. And thankfully, I just realized this. My parents live right next to my dealership for my vehicle. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that they could pick me up while I'm getting my car fixed. That's cool. All right, so I'm going to use that fund, probably deplete it, and then build that back up for my husband's Jeep. He's not driving his Jeep as much, and so we won't really have to do anything for that, but that's okay. Roth IRA, I'm putting $100 away. And then NutriSense. I just realized there is no NutriSense coming out this month of September. I got my dates wrong. I thought there was one more coming out because I signed up for 6 months. And NutriSense is a subscription-based glucose monitoring with those discs that you can put on your arm. And I've been using that to check my glucose because I'm a diabetic, but I can do, instead of doing finger sticks, which I can't bring myself to do, because of my irrational fear of needles, I can seem to have somebody put on the NutriSense sensor, and I have no problem with that. And it stays on my arm for 2 weeks, and then I just move on. So I have $265 here left over. This is going to get zero. Nothing's going to come out of this, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that just yet. I might replenish what I took out of the Roth IRA and things like that, but I don't really know what I want to do yet. And then dividends this month. Oh, I don't even know what our dividends this month is. Hold on a second. Okay, I found out the dividends, and it is $3. So it's better than the 41 cents we were doing before. It's not a lot, but it's something. I used to get a lot more when I had more money in this, but I moved a lot of the money from this account to my high yield savings account with Edward Jones. So there is that. So that is what I have for here. I do know Amazon Prime is going to come out. I'm not going to write the amount just yet, unless it's just in case it's different from what I expected. And then I have not thought about this NutriSense yet. I could definitely use it somewhere, but I'm not sure what I want to do just yet. I might just leave it in here. I might move it to the Roth. It might go to the car maintenance and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So, or I can just leave it here, and then if I start the subscription again, then I'm good. So I really have to kind of think that through before I make any decisions. So that is the sinking fund half. Now I get to go ahead and total up how much the deposit should be for the sinking funds. Now the deposit will not include the $3 because the $3 is already in the account, but I will write down what the deposit should be as well as what a total with the $3 here. I just made a mistake before I go any further. I've been adding this up and something's not right. I put $120. No, it's just supposed to be $20 for tax prep. I don't know why I wrote 120. I guess I saw the 100 and wrote that. But it's just $20. I'm going to leave it like that. There we go. Now I can get the correct number. Oh, goodness.
I'm losing sight 'cause I am falling. I'm so deep down, deep down. And it's not...
All right, so the deposit for this time is $592. My neighbor's dog is going crazy next door, if you hear that. $592.85. All right, and then you add a $3. This is what's going to be in the account as a total, $595.85. So there we go. So that is the deposits in total. I'm going to put this in my transfer funds from my checking into the savings account. And then when I need to make a withdrawal, I will just make a payment for my credit card with my savings account. And the only reason I can do that is they're all one bank. So they're all within one area to do money moves and transfers. So I can pay that credit card with the same bank that I have my money market account in. So I try not to have too many banks, too many places to do things, because it gets confusing after a while for me. So I like it all in one place as much as possible. So that is what I have for now on that. And the next thing I have is the savings tracker. So the savings tracker is the Edward Jones high yield savings account. Currently, we have a good amount in there that I moved out of the money market account because this one's making 5.33% at Edward Jones. I don't know what today's market would say it is, but that is what I have. And then the other is just a money market account. I think it does like 1% or just below 1%. So that's why it's a little more than a regular savings, but it's not necessarily that substantial unless you have a lot of money in the account. So my emergency fund is sitting here. It was interesting with Edward Jones, you can have a debit card with the account. Haven't quite figured out exactly how that works, but it's a debit card that you can use for your emergency fund. So if you're out and let's say you have a flat tire and you need to use your emergency fund for that, and you got to take your car in for service and replace the tire and whatever and stuff like that, and you don't have the money anywhere else, you have that to use. And it does change things as far as the savings, but it is a good peace of mind to have a debit card directly towards my emergency fund if something major happened and we had to use it. So I did like that feature about it. Emergency fund is sitting at $30,000. That's what we decided to make our emergency fund number. So 30,000. My husband makes more than 30,000 a year, but 30,000 is a good round number. Plus he gets, besides his regular job or his salary job, he also has a military retirement, VA disability, and one of our sons pays rent. So though that income is not included in this. So this is more like a year, one whole year emergency fund, not a 6 month. If he did not get all those extra incomes coming in, then it would just be 6 months. So that's what we have there. 4,000 of it we're going to use for our vacation fund in October. We have a trip coming up. I'm excited about that. It's my husband and mine birthday, and that is exciting. Home fund has 3,000 sitting in it. It's kind of like an emergency home fund. Like this is earmarked for that, for major things. So like if the hot water heater went out completely and we need to replace all of it, that's just kind of us having the money for that. The last I have is the interest or dividends that we have earned so far in the account. So right now there was $275.99 in the account that was earned over 2 months. So we haven't got anything less than $100 a month for interest with the $37,000 that we have for this account. So now I am noticing a difference of $175.14. That is the beginning of this month, and that was what I call it deposit, but that was what the dividend was. And so that is kind of where we're sitting now. Our original amount that we have so far, 30,000 plus 4,000 plus 3,000 plus the $275.99. That gives us $37,275.99. That is awesome. It's growing a lot faster in just a few months than what I had in the money market account. So that's really good. I don't plan to put any more deposits in. I don't think anything else is going to change, but I'm not going to total this up until the end of the month when I close out the month, just in case something does change. I don't want to jump ahead of myself and do it ahead of time. So this is my sinking funds and savings tracker. I do have a spending tracker. This is a continuation of my spending trackers back here. If I need more room, and it looks like I probably will because I'm only on the 4th day of the month and I got that first page halfway full, so I'm going to need this. And I might actually just get another page and put it back there. I don't know. We haven't decided yet. But this is what we have. Sinking funds, savings tracker. I find it the easiest way to stay on top of what you need to pay when it happens once a month or once a year, or quarterly or twice a year, whatever your schedule is. When you just put a little bit away, I mean, I've got $13, I've got $8, I've got $5, and I got a lot of 50s and 20s and 100 and things, a couple hundreds here. It totals up. I mean, little amounts add up to a big number, and this is like just under $600. So those little amounts add up very quickly, and having them saved and tucked away somewhere for when they happen, it just doesn't impact your budget and you don't feel anything negative, and it's all good and positive. So I really like doing it this way. So I look forward to the next video, which is my weekly check-in video. I'm not sure exactly what day I'm putting that up, but I am doing a weekly check-in next, and then the Mortgage Monday. So stay tuned and like, subscribe, and all the things. Give this a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
I can't hide what this is. Yeah, I keep drowning.